Well, today what we're doing is we're preparing wonton soup. I mean, the taste of the Orient has always been prominent in Western culture, and today we're really going to experience that. We're going to take it to the next level. We're going to do a little bit of shrimp mixed with pork wonton soup. Not generally a Chinese concept when it comes to the wonton, but we're going to just do a little flavor of our own here. Just got to prepare the shrimp here,
Pause now.
and we'll be right back.
So is there anything special we should know about thawing the shrimp?
Yeah. Just get in here. You have to see this. This is absolutely beautiful.
You're getting tight.
Usually we don't like to use the frozen shrimp, but in this situation, shrimp's not in season. But this is as fresh as it comes. This is frozen at sea. This is fresh, peeled tail shrimp, live from Thailand. I mean, it really doesn't get much better than this right here. And we also want to remember when thawing shrimp, always use cold water because you don't want to start the cooking process early. Once the food starts cooking, it will remain cooking for up to at least 4 minutes once it's out of the water, and that'll just end up with premature cooking, and it's not how things are done.
Anything else?
Salt and pepper.
Whose phone number is this?
That was a place that I had to call for the kibbutz.
When you were talking to the people about the kibbutz?
Pardon?
When you were talking to the people about the kibbutz, did you happen to mention to them that you were about to make pork something or other?
No, I left that one out.
Pork and shrimp wontons.
Okay, I'll be back in a minute.
Not a traditional kosher dish.
Not a traditional kosher dish by any means.
No.
Okay, as far as ingredients go here, what we have...
Actually, is there anything kosher about the dish you're about to make?
The only thing kosher about the dish that I'm about to make...
The green onions were picked by a local rabbi.
and blessed. Okay, so what we have here is we've got some ground pork that was picked up in Steeston. We're fortunate enough here in Steeston to have a little coastal fishing village up here. We can always find fresh meat at Herringer's. A beautiful little meat shop that always has fine quality meat here. So what we're going to do is we're going to start off with the meat. We're going to get a large bowl. You want to go for anywhere between 25 to 35 wontons. You're going to want about a pound of ground pork. So you get the pork in there. First things first, you throw in a little bit of green pepper. It really brings out the flavor, and when you get the green pepper in there cooking, or the green onion, when you get the green onion in there, it provides a little bit of texture once the food is cooked, and it generally tends to just add that extra little bit of flavor that you lack from just straight meat. All right. The prawns should be just about ready here.
How can you tell if they're ready?
Well, you can tell when they're ready. Just if you look here, what you want is you want to cut that down the middle there. Make sure that the middle is still a little bit frozen, and that'll easily come out in the cooking process. We're just going to throw it all in there. Generally, this shrimp's a little bit big for what we're doing here, but if you mix it properly, it should hold well together with the pork and in the wonton noodle wrap. You really want to get a good mixture here so it's consistent throughout. Alright. Oh, it's just, you can really smell the green onions coming up. It just opens up the air ducts and you can smell it. It's absolutely wonderful.
Well, it's good to have your air ducts open.
Okay, next thing we're going to do here is we're going to add some oyster sauce. Two main sauces that come, I like to use the Taipan. It's an excellent sauce. It is authentic oyster sauce made in the traditional manner. This stuff here is made in, I believe, Burnaby. Oh, just excellent. And you'll find that once you get the sauce in there, it really helps bring together the pork and the green onion and the shrimp. It really helps blend it and hold it all together. Oh, smell it! It just smells lovely. It smells fantastic. All right. The hands do get a little bit dirty here, but I guess that's just part of the sacrifice that comes with it, right? I don't think anyone will be complaining once the soup is cooking and just filling up the whole kitchen with fresh aroma. All right, now a little bit of soy sauce. Soy sauce is very key. You don't want to add too much because of the salt content. If you add too much, the salt will just take away from the overall flavor that the oyster sauce and the shrimp brings out. About maybe a quarter cup of soy sauce. I'll get that in there and just really blend it up in there. Alright. So if you take a good look in there, the mixture is consistent throughout. You have green onion, you got the soy sauce, and if you can smell the smell coming off of that, it's really just fantastic. Okay, so once you get it nice and consistent, the next step in the process will be the mandarin wonton wraps, which you wrap them up in, and we'll be back. What I've done here is I'm adding some fresh ground pepper to give it a little bit of spice there. I mean, with the flavors of the green onion and the oyster sauce, you get some really sweet and mixed tastes, but the pepper just adds that element of a little bit of bitterness, a little bit of spice, so there's a little more bite to it than just your average wonton. Again, that's something that's not generally done with the wonton soup the way it's made, but it's something that I've adapted and I've been using for years now, and I find it's really fantastic. Again, just a drop of salt. The salt in soy sauce and white salt is much different. It's completely different kinds of sauces, or salt. So you want to add a little bit of the white salt. Just to bring out a little bit of the flavor. Also, as the salt gets into the food, it opens it up a little bit and allows the different flavors to blend with each other and just really mix in there good. Alright, I think we pretty much have a good base there. As you can see here, it's not liquidy, it's pretty solid, and everything's mixed in pretty good. If you remember a little bit earlier in the mixture, it was quite hard to get the shrimp and the pork together and mix up, but as you get the oyster sauce and the soy, like I said, it really just brings it all together. Our next step will be putting them into the wonton wraps, and we'll be doing that in about 2 minutes, right when we get back. Alright, and welcome back. What we're doing now is we're just about to prepare the actual wonton, making the dumpling itself. What we have here is it's a very thin rice pastry almost. As I said, it comes very thin. It's powdered, and pretty much as soon as this gets wet, it cooks in about 30 to 40 seconds. We're going to put them in the water hot. And what I do is I just want to prepare them out like that. I'm going to get my assistant Mike over here to throw on some water. We've got a cauldron here. We're going to put about, I'd say, fill it up about 3/4 of the way up. I mean, extra broth isn't going to be a problem whatsoever. There's lots of wontons here. So, what we want to do is we want to take, not too much, because you don't want it coming out the sides, and some of them will open up during cooking. I mean, it's inevitable, you can't get out of it, but generally it's a result of overstuffing the wonton. So what you do is you get it in there, like so, just in the middle, and then my hands dry off here. Then what you want to do is you want to go corner to corner. So you go corner to corner there, and just hold it like that. Also, it doesn't help, or it also helps to get maybe a small cup of water at times. I mean, this will be okay. These are nice, and these are actually very good wonton shells. But if you get a little bit of water and put it on the end there, it'll help the stick together before cooking. Thank you, Mike. And then you take the other side, pull it all together there, and like I said, you get a little bit of water in there, a little little bit of water on your fingers and put it in there, and it'll just start the noodle and hold it all together, keep it bonded. So really quite simple, not a hard dish to make at all. You can make it in your own home. As far as the broth goes, we're gonna put some, you can either go with the beef or you can go with the chicken flavoring. You just throw it in there, let the water boil, make your dumplings, and yeah, as soon as we're done with making all these wontons, we're gonna throw it in and we're gonna watch them cook. You grab the corner and you really want to stuff the meat down to the bottom, because if this opens up during cooking, the meat will get out and you'll pretty much have a dumpling without the noodle. Then
Without
what you
the
do,
noodle or without the meat?
without the, listen Josh,
I just want to get it clear for the audience. I just don't want them to be, mistaken.
We're gonna have to remove you.
And the question was, if it falls apart, you're either gonna be missing the noodle or the meat?
you'll be missing one of the two. Okay, so what you do is you then want to turn that. You want to turn the middle part so you have something to attach the other ends to. Get a tiny little bit of water here, put it on the end, and then just pinch it shut. Make sure that you can't see the meat poking out anywhere, and you have a dumpling right there.
You wanna show the assembly line technique?
Another good technique for doing it quickly is you want to lie out your wonton noodles, put all your, about a teaspoon of meat in each one, and then just start rolling them up. At this point you want to have your water almost boiling, and you want to drop your wontons in the water when it's fully heated.
Okay.
So what I've done here is I've chopped up some green onion as well as putting it inside the actual dumpling. We're going to put this in the soup once it's actually done. We don't waste anything here at the Food Network, so what I'm doing is I've got the ends of the onions right there. If you just take the ends of the onions, you walk around here, you just throw them right in the soup as it's boiling. It's just going to add a nice flavor to the soup. Again, we use beef broth in here. You want to make it fairly strong. Wonton soup is always noted for a very tasty, warm, delicious broth. And that's not going to change. The wontons have changed, but the broth, you really got to keep traditional in some regards to the wonton.
For your birth certificate.
Okay, so our beef broth has come to a full boil here. You can smell the onions are really starting to come out, and it's all coming together here. We have our dumplings all made, ready to go. You want to make sure that you're putting them in while the water's boiling. It should take about roughly 2 to 4 minutes cooking time. And after that, ready for wonton soup. Slide them in there, throw the cover back on, and in 3 minutes we're going to be good to go. See the wontons in there cooking. They're all at the bottom right now, but you can see it's almost instantaneous. The noodles molded to the wonton, the meat's tightening up. The meat's also going to shrink a little bit as it cooks. You can see that the dumplings are pretty much already formed. You just want to make sure that it's cooked throughout. And yeah, we're on our way. Okay, welcome back. Our wonton soup is pretty much all done here. It's boiled, the wontons have floated to the top, so you know they're done. What I got here is I got some bowls. What we're going to do is we're just going to take a little bit of green onion, throw it in there. This stuff hasn't been cooked yet, so it's going to remain crispy for a while during the soup. And as you can see right there, all the wontons have floated to the top. They look absolutely fantastic. You can smell it. It's really just filled up the kitchen with a wonderful fragrance. Quite refreshing. You just throw it in the bowl here. Alright, take a look at that. It looks absolutely delicious. What I'm going to do here is I'm just going to take out a wonton here. I'm going to cut it open for you. You can take a look at the inside of that. You can see that it's been cooked fully through. It just looks absolutely wonderful. All the meat's nice and white, cooked, and you got right here an absolutely wonderful Western wonton. gonna have my assistant here try it out. And let me know what you think.
I'm gonna go right for the wonton. Get a little bit of broth in there.
It just looks fantastic. It just looks absolutely fantastic. It's hot, you want to be careful. Delicious. And there you have it, folks. The Western wonton. Take it, try it.
So good.
It's great, it can feed a whole family. It's relatively inexpensive, and it's just a great dish. Thank you very much, and we'll see you next week on Kosher Cooking.